Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Josh, and today we are checking out the Inked Kraken by Squid Industries. Alright, so before we get too far into this, I want to mention that this is a first production model, serial number 569 out of 800, and I might have, I don't know this totally completely 100% sure without a doubt, but I think I might have received a faulty model. I could be wrong on that, but I talked to some buddies and I'm having issues that others aren't, so take that as you will. It's still a fantastic knife, and I'll give you my best impression of the one that I have in my hand, and if I need to update the video or make another one later on, I totally will. So just to list off some of the specifications, I did buy this on Blade HQ during their last drop. This particular model, all black, is $268.99, currently out of stock. If you sign up for their newsletter, they will let you know when a drop is coming. Usually I'm not a newsletter type of guy, but I follow all the ones regarding butterfly knives. Overall length is 10.125 inches, so overall length. Blade length is 4.5 inches. Cutting edge is 4 inches. Blade width is 0.75 inches. Blade thickness is 0.12. Blade material is AEB-L. Never heard of that one before. Blade style, I got the Tonto. They are working on a Bowie, so hopefully that's coming soon. Blade grind is flat, finish is black, edge type is plain, handle length is 5.625 inches, handle width is 1.45 inches, handle thickness is 0.50 inches, handle material is aluminum, and the weight is 4.33 ounces. This is all on Blade HQ. Made by Squid Industries. The model, I call it the Kraken, but apparently they had to rename it due to copyright issues or something around those lines. So it's actually the Krake Raken, apparently is how you pronounce that. I was pronouncing it Krake Raken. Whatever, it's called the Kraken to me. They come in a variety of colors, both the inked and the regular version. The inked is a little bit more expensive. They also have dual tones, which are a little bit more expensive. The pivots are normally black, but I went ahead and purchased some gold because I thought the gold would look kind of cool. I purchased them directly from Squid Industries, the pivots that is. I knew it was going to be a lightweight knife just because, you know, it's made out of aluminum. The materials are kind of different. Like, I've never heard of the blade steel. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed with it. It has a really, really sharp edge, and it just looks very clean. Very, very clean. We'll do a little bit of a close-up later. The handles are textured, but in a way that it's still pretty slippery for those who might have sweaty palms, such as myself. Not only is it textured on the front, but there is a slight texture on the sides too, and I'm not talking about this little bottom half, that's pretty clear, but on the sides, I don't know if it's just milling marks from, you know, the machining, but there are lines that go downwards, which, again, a close-up will show a little bit more. It is channel construction, meaning that it's one hunk of handle rather than two separate slabs as seen on the Ham Chimera here. One of my favorite knives right here. When I was looking at pictures, it seemed like the handles were going to be a lot thicker than what they were, but really they're not all too much thicker than, actually they're a little less thick than the Chimera here. Pretty cool. Not very rounded, but slightly rounded. Still pretty blocky, but it has a really good feel to it. It does run off of bushings and phosphorus bronze washers. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Typically, bushing knives shouldn't have any play. And this is where my personal issues came into effect. And I've talked to a couple others with similar issues, but it seems like the majority do not have these issues. So they do have bushings in here, but I know this doesn't seem like much, but there is handle play. And yeah, that isn't very much. I'll give you that. And normally it wouldn't bother me, but this handle play is actually very, very loose. It's not like a flex. Like if I tried doing this again, this is the closest knife to me, so I apologize that I keep referencing it, but if I do that with this one, yeah, it has similar play, but it takes a lot of force, and it's almost like there's a resistance to it. Where when I do it with this Squid Industries Kraken, it's so loose. It doesn't take any force to have that play whatsoever. Now, if I do put force into it, you can see that it's pretty dang. It's got some play. Now, like I said, normally that wouldn't bother me, but it doesn't have any resistance to it. So really that's just wobbling all the time. And when you're trying to do precise flips, that can have an effect when you're trying to predict the upcoming move. Honestly, not a total deal breaker for me, but I was kind of bummed when I couldn't personally tune it out. I have a feeling on what's going on. I've tuned the HOM to perfection. When I tried to tune this, I realized that when you screw down the pivot screws all the way, it actually binds the handle to where it will stick, like that. They won't swing freely anymore. So what that typically means, if it sticks and it doesn't have any handle play, typically the bushings are too small. If you screw it all the way down and they swing freely, but it wiggles like crazy, that means that the bushings are typically too big. Too big of bushings you can sand down to perfection. I'd rather have too big of bushings than too small. Too small, there's literally nothing you can do. I did purchase additional bushings and washers off USA Knife Maker. We'll see how that works. If that doesn't work, I will go ahead and return this, because it does seem like it's an issue that's only happening to a select few people. The only other issue that I've really found with this is the fact that the pivots loosen so quickly. If you're flipping, literally 5 flips in, it will be loose as a goose. Honestly, nothing that Loctite can't fix. So, there's that. I actually, for the first time, used paracord to lock my threads in my pivots. I can do a tutorial on that, but honestly, other people already have. Pretty much I just took some paracord and I cut it open, and I took one of the strands of the inside of the paracord and wrapped it around the screw thread and screwed it in, and that fixed my issue instantly, and I didn't have to wait for Loctite to cure. Loctite takes 24 hours to cure. So other than those issues, and those really, it's not that big of a deal with a Balisong of this price. I would say this is one of the top-notch flippers of 2019, maybe even going into 2020. Not only is it cost effective, it's super light and not very fatiguing to flip. There's some knives out there, again, here it comes. The stock HOM Chimera is a heavy knife, and it's heavy and long, so it can actually be a little fatiguing when you're flipping it long term. This one, it's so lightweight that it really doesn't make a difference. It has a decent sound to it for being a channel construction, so that's cool. It's sharp, but kind of like the Matrix. It reminds me of a Matrix that has square handles. It flips really easy. It practically flips itself. That wasn't supposed to happen. It practically flips itself. Obviously, you guys can't see my room right now, but my studio, literally underneath where the camera's cut off at, it's like fucking Santa's Village up in here. There's presents all over the place. so I'm trying to be a little more careful, but it is a really easy knife to flip, and I do recommend it if you're looking for a butterfly knife and you're not really wanting a replicant, or you don't want to spend as much on an alpha beast. This definitely compares with those knives. I would say it's like in a strange, weird alternate universe. It's kind of like a Matrix had a baby with a replicant, or yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, because it's lightweight and it's really flippable, and it's got just some blocky ass handles. It's kind of neat, really. There it is. That's what I was trying to do. You don't really have a ton of customization options with it. It does 0 Gs relatively well. As far as where it balances at, right about there. I said about there, not perfectly there. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I flip on my lunch breaks in my car at work, and I noticed that this is a fun knife to flip on your lunch breaks just because it's so lightweight. When you're sitting down in a vehicle, you can get in those weird awkward poses without, you know, hitting the knife off the window or doing whatever one does. It's fun. It is a fun knife, and I'm really glad that I figured out the paracord Loctite method. Shout out to the dude on YouTube who made the video tutorial, because that really did help. I wish I had your channel name, but I don't. Really, really cool. If you search it, it's the dude who filmed it in portrait mode versus landscape mode. There's not very many people that do that, so yeah. It really is a nice knife though. I dig it. I dig it. If you guys want to see me actually just make a video dedicated to flipping it, I would be more than happy to do that. You guys know I like my flipping videos, but I'm not necessarily super... Actually, I'm really not that good at flipping in general. It's just something I enjoy doing. Whenever I'm in front of a camera, I always end up cutting myself too. I post it all on Instagram though. I try to keep YouTube away from my blood. Really, you can get some serious speed with these 8-balls. You can get some serious freaking... If you really got into it, you could get some serious speed. So before I forget, let's do some close-ups. This is going to be really freaking weird, because what I do for my close-ups, I take my lens off and flip it around and hold the knife. So be prepared for that. Trying to get it to focus is not a very easy task. There. That looks like the blade edge. I wish I had a little bit better lighting for you. There it is. See the lines that go down it? That's really neat in my opinion. I apologize, it's shaky. I'm literally holding the lens up, so it takes every shake. Yeah, that's the blade edge. And if you look, there's lines on the black part. I think that is so freaking cool. I'm gonna try to get the logo in there. Yeah, the way that they did that is, in my opinion, super cool. Super cool. Here's the pivots, and you can actually see some of the that looks like hair, but that's actually paracord. Wow, those are cool looking pivots. Neato. That's super neat. Let's see if I can't get the tip. Oh man, just for a second. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The texture. If I can get the texture, I'll be really happy. Right there. Right there. It's almost like a diamond pattern. Good God, man. That is freaking cool. And then on the side, kind of like I was talking about, oh, that's cool. On the side, I wish I could show you the side. Yeah, see? I knew that there's fucking lines in there. Just ever so slightly. That's neat. That shit you can't really see with the naked eye. That's the bottom. And might as well do the first production on the front. It's upside down, but whatever. Whatever, yo, whatever. You can see that the way that they manufactured it and cut it out, though, those lines I think are super, super cool. Honestly, I think that's the cutting edge, but I can't tell for sure. Nope, that's the swedge. Neat. It's freaking neat. Skin particles and shit. Really cool. Alright. Good God. That was really fatiguing, so. Yeah. Overall, I would recommend it. I would just be cautious if you are really worried about handle play. There isn't any tap. So that's good. In my book, if you have handle play but no tap, you're in good shape. It's when you have handle play and tap. And really, there ain't none. So, pretty cool. If you guys have any questions regarding the Squid Industries Krake Raken, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, and you can show your support by hitting that subscribe button. As always, my friends, I do appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. Adios.